In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Google Forms to create a self-graded quiz. So here's an example I used with students over spring vacation where they had an opportunity to review the questions from the Common Core Algebra regions from June of 2016. And what I'm going to do very quickly and randomly is select various options from these questions. And one of the things you'll notice is that these are actual screenshots from the PDF of the test that I got from the New York State website. And I'll just simply jump ahead. This is the second of 3 pages. Click that. And I'm going to press submit. And when you do, when students do, they see they've got a couple of options, including viewing your score. So when we click this, we can see that we just got only 2 out of 24 correct. So if a student only earned 2 out of 24 correct, this would be a pretty wonderful learning opportunity. And when we view our score, we can also see what we selected and what the correct answer was. For number 1, of course, it was option number 3, and we can go through and sort of evaluate our performance. This is a really amazing way for students to prepare for the actual regions. Here's the spreadsheet. This is what you're going to see when students submit their work, along with their name in column C. Column A is going to have when they submitted it, and B, of course, is going to have their score. So overall, students did pretty well, and we can get a more nuanced look when we click responses. So here we've got some insights. The average is 16 and change out of 24. The median was 17 out of 24, and we've got a pretty broad range. One of the really nice things that Google Forms does is they identify frequently missed questions. In this case, it's questions with less than 50% correct response rate. All right, so we can see the power of Google Forms. How do we actually make a test? How does this work? So in Google Drive, you're going to left click New, and then you're going to click More, and then we've got a few more options. We'll select Google Forms, and the first thing that you're going to want to do is label it. In this case, let's label it maybe Regents Review. Okay. First question is always, what is your name? And we're going to make that a short answer question. Google does that for you automatically. And then what you may find yourself doing is asking, which period do you have this class? In case you have multiple sections for history, algebra, or science. And then what we can do is simply write period 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever. And now what I like to do is click this icon right here, which means it adds a section. So this is going to create a second page, which comes in really handy if you find yourself scrambling the questions. And I can elaborate more on that later. So this is still Regents, review. Let's do construct. We'll do multiple choice questions. Okay. So now how do we add a question? How do we add a multiple choice question from the regions? Well, I actually just got this PDF from the living environment regions, and I'll randomly select this question. So if you're using a Mac, and if you press Command Shift 4, what you can do is you can create a screenshot of just a selected area of the window. Beautiful. And I'm actually gonna go to the global history regions, and we'll try this one. So again, I'm gonna press Command Shift 4. I'm going to select an area. I'm going to release. That creates a screenshot. It's going to save it, I think, as a PNG file or a JPEG file to your desktop. And we'll do one more. Command Shift 4. Okay. So let's return to our the form that we're working on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write simply question 1. And we're going to add the image from that living environment screenshot that we just took. I'm going to choose an image to upload. I'm going to go to desktop, and I'm not sure which one. It'll probably be this one. Okay. I'm going to press open. It's uploading, and here we've got the actual text from the living environment regions. Now you could copy and paste the text into these options right here. So for example, we can go like this: Command C, Command V, Command C, Command V, and so on and so forth. What I think is most efficient is simply to write 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll see that students will know that these options, of course, correspond with the options in the image itself. And so we're good. Let's add another question. To do that, I'm going to click right here. I'm going to press question number 2, we're going to add the image. I'm going to choose the image to upload. This is going to be, I think, that diagram or map from the global history region. So we're going to select it, and beautiful. We're going to simply write 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll add one more image, or add one more question. This is going to be question number 3. And so I would recommend that you sort of identify the questions that you want to use first, create screenshots, and just so you know, these look actually come out quite nicely if students are taking it on a cell phone or any other internet connected device. All right, beautiful. All right, so now the question is, how do we make this into a quiz? Because students, if you have got some familiarity with Google Forms, you know that they can press submit and you can see what the options are. But let's click this little cog, this little gear, and what you can do is you can restrict it to just students from your school. You can limit it to just one response. I typically don't really mess with this a whole lot. What I do is I click quizzes. We're gonna turn this on. We're gonna release the grade immediately, although that's to your discretion. And we're gonna press now save, and we're gonna return to those questions that we just uploaded. And when I click right here, the first thing that it's gonna want to do, oh, sorry, the first thing that you're gonna want to do is click answer key. And this gives us an opportunity to designate points for each question and then identify what is the correct answer. And I think this is probably question number 2. We're going to scroll to the click on this question right here. It has answer key at the bottom, designated the point value. Again, we'll make it 1. And I suspect that it's this question, the correct answer is option 3. And then, to be honest with you, I have no idea what the correct response is here, but we're going to designate the point value. Let's pretend it's option 4. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to press send. When you press send, you've got a few options, including this little link right here, which I'm going to copy. I'm going to create a new window. I'm going to press Command V and enter. And so this is what students will see in their email if you link it. I'm going to write my name, Drozd. I'm, of course, in the 5th period of this class. And here we see the 3 questions. So let's say that I think it's conserves non-renewable resources, includes this territory, and say option number 1. I'm going to press submit. And we can review our score. And we've got a total point of 2 out of 3. We can see that we got 1 correct, 2 correct. 3 was assigned as incorrect. I think I wrote the designated 4 as the correct answer. So this is a really amazing way to assess your students' knowledge.